Hi everyone, it's Adrian Leah. This is going to be a quick video. I am going to have a productive next couple of days. So it is almost 1 a.m. and I was asked to take my godmother asked if I could take them to the airport at around 4:30, which is the standard time for people that want to go to the airport and they're going on a mini trip. So I'll be watching my aunt, and she's coming back. She had to get some treatment, so she's coming back around the afternoon. And I was gonna take a power nap, and when I get back, I'll do other things before she arrives. So I wanted to show some progress on different things and just show some. I have a pair of mittens or two pairs of mittens actually, because I wanted to show things that I will, in general, put aside for gift knits, and they aren't necessarily designated gifts, but I would like to keep some things on hand so I could gift them when the time comes. I have my pair of the Hema fingerless gloves, and I know that these are my pair because they're slightly shorter than what the pattern is. I love the front, the front and the back. I knit two pairs in a row. I know this is also my pair because I didn't weave in that I didn't weave in some of the ends on the inside. I was also thinking I would do like a blue and yellow show and tell because I have lots of blue and yellow garments and items that I could show. I'll show some of them here because both the fingerless gloves, I'm sorry, this is a pair of fingerless gloves, and then the other pair is um they're a pair of proper mittens. So this is mine, and I keep this pair in my bag, and it's just a favorite. I really love this. I usually wear it with a specific outfit. It's a dress, and a lot of the times I'm wearing a long skirt and then the top that could go with it. Either that or there's like a cardigan or accessory that goes with the skirt. For this specific dress, it has some flowers on, and there it's strapless. It's like the one that's like this, and then there's bell sleeves on it, and I really love the dress. So this goes with that dress perfectly. And I'll show the other pair of mittens that are also, there's technically one pair for now that I'm gonna individually make one each. So they're two pairs. I'm going to put them and make them separate pairs because I made some adjustments and I would like to do the same thing that I did for the first mitten and do the same thing I did for the second mitten. So for the first mitten, well, for this pattern, I didn't use the yarn called for, so I was seeing what would work with what I was doing. And this is the third one. I didn't do a lot of it, but I feel like I have a natural timeline in my head of things that I feel that I'll finish at one time, and then once that's finished I'll go to another project that I have or start something. So I will be finishing these. And another thing is that I technically have two mittens, so I'm not that much in a rush. And I didn't see any more of the colorways that I'm using at the yarn store that I get it from. Well, one of them, because I took the ones that the shop had. So the two colorways that I'm using come from Jameson's Shetland Spindrift, and this is recommended to use a size US 3 or a 3.25 millimeter needle, and that's what I eventually went with. But I started off with the size recommended for the pattern, and it's a free pattern, so um, I have shown it in different videos. But the yellow is in the colorway 410 Cornfield, and these are 25-gram skeins. So the blue is 700 Royal, and so I'll just show the back. So if I really wanted to, honestly, I would just use the two that I have. And the second one, I just went with the one size needle, and then that was it. So I want to go back to using the smaller needle for the ribbing and um, move up to the size 3 that I felt better for how it was knitting up. So one of them has Pray for you. Well, both of them say Pray for Ukraine. There's also another chart for this pattern too, but I use Pray for Ukraine for both of them. And then the thumbs either say love or not war. I put both of them on. So you feel the slightest difference in the ribbing for the needle change. So I'm going to, and I love the thumbs. I'm going to finish this up because this is probably my favorite mitten that I have because it feels like it does what you would want a mitten to do. Of course, I love the hemma pattern, but um, this is just thinking about the practicality of it. I love the different mittens that I make. I'm definitely like a mitten knitter or like a fingerless glove knitter. Um, I know a lot of people love knitting socks, and I just haven't gotten on that bandwagon of like liking sock knitting. I've knit a couple of pairs in my life, but um, I finally found needles that I like knitting socks with. I was also thinking maybe I could use DPNs, but I mainly use DPNs on sleeves at some point when I am not knitting on the round and I'm constantly decreasing to a point where I would either have to change to DPNs or knitting magic loop, and I prefer the DPNs 100% on my sleeves. So the other mitten is love, and you'll just, I feel the difference. So it is just such a beautiful knit, and I love the yarn that goes with it. And I wanted to use the charts to make other items as well. So I'm almost finished a project that I will wear a couple of times here and there, but ultimately I would like to gift it at some point. So this was an interesting test knit. I just had to test knit for the yoke, and then that was it because different designers and patterns, there's different things that the knitwear designer is looking to have checked. And this one, I wanted to make full length. I usually make my garments cropped. I do like them a certain length, but I also like some of my garments to be full length, but the cropped ones I like pairing with my skirts. And so this one is a scrap sweater, and I signed up for this test knit. It was a blind test knit, but I love the knitwear designer. She's a Finnish knitwear designer, Jenna Kostet, and I just love the designs that she comes out with. So even if it was a blind test knit, um, I was more than willing to test it. And sometimes I have to translate the, like when she calls for test knits, because it's in Finnish, and this specific test knit was in Finnish. And sometimes, like, she has the English version too already. But for this one, I used Google Translate, and it translated some of it, but there was a lot of the pattern that wasn't translated to something that was identifiable, because there were some things that I was looking at and I was like, oh no. But when you know the construction of top down sweater, and you can gauge where the numbers go, and you look at the chart and what they're saying. Um, it eventually it'll come together. So that's what happened, and I'm really proud that it got completed, and like some of the translations were like barbed wire and smoking, and um I didn't know what they translated to. I still don't know. And then there's the abbreviations and the Finnish abbreviations. So maybe I could have looked at like what the Finnish word for like knit and purl, and maybe like skip knit and knit two together. What um some of the words start with, and I said knit a couple times, but it could have gave me hints on what those abbreviations could have been, but it was okay. And I kind of did my own thing after the chart anyway. So I did short sleeves. I didn't block it yet, so right now it's here. I did want to make it to where when it relaxes the yarn, it will be relaxed and straight more, so it will fall a little further down. It's non-superwash, the whole thing's non-superwash, so I feel like it's more predictable in that way, that it's not something that necessarily grows, and it may relax, and it would depend on like what you're using, the and even the weight. So the composition of this sweater is of different types of wool. So some of them I don't know the exact breed, but the main color is the anthracite from Juniper Moon, Patagonia, in the color, well, the colorway is anthracite, and this is Argentinian wool. I've used this for multiple projects. Some of them I've used as the main color for at least three of them, and I do love this yarn. So the other colors, this is also called the gilt sweater too, because this is using the scraps that you have from other projects that maybe you're just holding on to and you're thinking, what could I make with it? Technically, the designer was saying that you could use the color work throughout the whole garment. I didn't have enough scraps to do the patterning that I wanted, and I did want to stay to a specific um, range of colors that I had with me. So that's another reason why I did short sleeves. I mixed two different charcoal colors together. So this one is the Latvian wool. It comes from Riga, hobby wool, and I love the yarn, and it's my favorite colorway of red that I've seen. It has like a berry tone to it, and I really love that. This one is the Patagonia Anthracite, and I'm blending them together right now. I feel like I could probably, if I wanted to, barely get to three-quarter sleeves with them, but since this is eventually going to be a gift knit, I was thinking it would be either a long sleeve or a short sleeve, and so I made it short sleeve. Um, I'll get to the composition in a second or in a moment. So for the short sleeve, I did 20 rounds of stockinette and then 10 rounds of the ribbing, and I did a purl bind off because I did a purl bind off for my last test knit, and it was from a different knitwear designer, Teti from Teti's Knit Garden, and she's a Ukrainian knitwear designer. And I'm really eager to knit more of her patterns because I really love the fit of them, and well, of the one that I finished, and I have one that's on the needles right now, and there's others that I really want to knit. One I almost have all the yarn for, so I feel like I could get started on that in December, and then there's another one that I wanted. There's there's a couple of them, but um, with the lineup, I have a couple that I am really eager to knit. So there's also the Rubicon in here for this is like a moss color, and then this is the red that goes with it's the Rubicon. Rubicon had two shades of red because I got a pack one year because at the end of summer they have been the Woolly Thistle has been putting together packs of Rumigard Phenol, and it's different color combinations, and so I chose the one that had like the shades of reds and grays and even charcoal. So I used some of that. I used a good amount of it, and the gray from this for this one at least that I had on me. That is also the Hobby Wool, the one that comes from Riga, and then the blue and yellow are from the Shetland. The it's Shetland wool. It's the Jamesons. So all of it is 100% wool. So I don't know the breed of the Riga one. Um, but I'm hoping, well, I feel like the recipient of who gets gifted these gifts will be accustomed or will like, sorry, will like non-superwash wool or non-treated wool because that's the yarn that I usually go for. I use superwash for other projects, but if as I mainly use the non-superwash as the main color for garments because I like the structure, and you do get benefits from both of the types of, like generally both of the types of yarn, but um, the non-superwash is I also like the more of like the rustic type of look and even feel of it too. I do like soft yarn too, but it's okay. So I'm currently finishing off this sleeve, and then I'll be able to wash it today. And oh, did I drop something? Oh, my stitch marker. This is one of the stitch markers that I have. But I mainly use the bold markers. I thought that was nice to have as well. And For this one, I'm using the Haya Haya bamboo needles and their cord here. I do really like these needles. Then for the Pray for Ukraine mittens, um, I'm using the Chagu, and I also have Chagu for this one. So this one is this was last year's advent calendar that I got. I do want to finish this, so eventually I could get another advent calendar. This is using JC Rennie's, well, the JC Rennie yarn, and I am I'm so in love with this scarf. It's just such a ingenious type of scarf. I love it. It's also on superwash too, and it's from We County Yarns. There was one year that I wasn't aware of the We County Yarns. They had like a Celtic scarf, and I really like that one. Sorry, I keep saying really. But this one it was a little bit of a journey with this one because I originally started knitting it in the round using needle tips that I would prefer having the longer ones, so they were the Leica ones. And I like the Knitter's Pride, the Haya Haya, and the Chowgoos, and those are the ones that I like sticking with. I tried the Leica ones, and they feel they feel nice, but the ones that I stuck to are the ones that I mentioned. So I started knitting in the round. I didn't want to knit with the tips, and so I eventually switched to doing the magic loop here, as you could see. And then I adjusted the needle size too at some point because I just felt like I was knitting differently, and because when I was knitting in the round, it was kind of like tight. It was having a certain finish to how it was knitting because um there was more, I feel like a little bit of a stretch when I was knitting it in the round. So I adjusted it, and now I'm satisfied with what I'm getting. And I'm on day 17 out of 24, so it's not like I have a lot left on it anyway. And it is a scarf, and you can add more rounds. I really want to finish this up because I'm sorry, I keep saying really. I want to finish this up. I was thinking I would do a cowl, but then I remembered I have this, and I am eager to have this off the needles because I do want to wear it. I just think it's such a pretty statement type of scarf, and I'm definitely getting it finished. I feel like I'll be able to work on this one this week. I mean, for sure I'll work on it, and then there might be other specific projects too. I'm getting this one off the needles today, and it's been a long time coming. I feel, sorry, I'm going back and forth with it, but I feel that it was an adventure with this one too because with the pattern, I feel it's like a broad shoulder type of finish, So it's a specific design and pattern, and I do enjoy and I do see um how the pattern ended up, and I'm happy with it. Let me see. I want to see how it is when it's off the needles, because when I took it off the needles, like in the body section, it made a difference to how I was looking at it. And now that I have more of the main color on the sleeve, because I did have, when I separated for sleeves, I separated in the charcoal color. I had a better vision of it, and I'm really happy with, sorry, I keep saying really. I'm happy with how the sleeves are. So I'm gonna try to get like a power nap in. I was thinking if I wanted to get like a fancy drink in the morning, but I'm actually, well, it's gonna be too early, but eventually, if there's time, I could get my converter because I wanted to do some stuff with the electric spinning wheel, and I was thinking about getting like a mini or children's sewing machine, and I wanted to see the poster, the products from the Ukrainian sellers off of Etsy, because, well, I could do a crochet reinforcement, but I have one mini crochet hook, and that's mainly to like maybe pick up stitches or maybe to drop stitches too, because some patterns you drop the stitches to do the effect that the pattern calls for. And there is just thinking I well do that then. Okay. Um so I also have this. This is random. I ate one already. But from Trader Joe's, they have these dark chocolate sunflower seed butter cups, and it's gluten-free, soy-free, dairy-free, tree nut-free, and peanut-free. This is a distributor, comes from a distributor in California, and if you're wanting to hear the ingredients, dark chocolate, cocoa, mass cane sugar, cocoa butter, sunflower seeds, organic powdered sugar, cane sugar, tapioca starch, cocoa butter, and sea salt, salt. And um, I have been enjoying these. Trader Joe's, a lot of this stuff is affordable, so I do go there frequently. I haven't gone to the Petrovsky market where it has like the Eastern European ingredients. That's where I like to get the vegan Gulliver chocolate. Um, I have to go to the airport, so but that the place isn't gonna be open that early. So I might just drive back here, and I don't know whose car I'm taking because I have stuff in my car, so I'd have to clear some room. but I feel like it's a slight variation of the Reese's. I do like it more than the Reese's. I feel like when I have some of the artificial type of food, you definitely notice. And it does have a slight saltiness to it as you taste in general, but this one has a specific saltiness from the sunflower seeds. But if you're, I feel like it's good. And then if you're used to having various substituted products, it shouldn't be um, a hurdle at all because I do feel like it's a good product. Um, I have been getting it here and there, and I enjoy it. There's the other chocolate that they have. There's a couple of things, and they come out with monthly products too. Some of them are there, and then they come up with new products. So there's the oat milk chocolate bars too, and that one is dairy free, and it is a take on the Crunch bar that is not dairy free. And I do like Crunch bars, and I do like Reese's too. I haven't eaten them, but from what I remember, I enjoyed eating them. So it's nice to have those chocolates come out, and I've noticed more stores have been carrying different dairy-free or plant-based types of products. I do have ones that I enjoy and I go to. I I don't know if it's necessarily, well, I feel like there is a little bit of brand loyalty because there is somewhat of a trust that they put their product out there and kind of what they're going for with these products, and um, I pick them up. So I haven't gone to Whole Foods in a while. Whole Foods is specific. I go there sometimes for to get some stuff, but it's an expensive supermarket. So if you get less than 10 products, it could amount to around $80. And I used to go there more frequently, but honestly, my godmother makes a lot of the main meals for me, so I don't really make or I don't eat out a lot if I do. But I'll have to maybe get an hour or two in. I would have been awake around this time anyway, but I don't know what I would have been doing. I probably would have been doing this and then on YouTube watching my synopsis stories. That's what I like calling them. It basically summarizes a story, so it's barely reading a book or barely audible. Technically, I guess it's audible in some type of way. Well, not it's not audible, but it's the concept is vaguely more it's more than vaguely there, but it's more specific to what it is. I'll think I'll just have this up because I just got the notification to get my charger and I'm coming up to the next round anyway. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll be here and there. I'm actually going to the other room because my godmother said it's easier for me to hear my aunt if she needs something from the other room. So I have some of my stuff here, but I feel like I'll bring stuff up there anyway. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in another video.